This is a report on the opportunities and risks of the emerging space industry in Australia. The significance of mining asteroids is to detect and grab potentially rare minerals such as possible diamonds, platinum, and so on. Space mining will lead to an important economic form in the future, which we call the space economy. China and Australia have far less cooperation in space than they have worked closely with the United States for many years. But China has a space station on Australia's west coast. The total revenue of the Australian aerospace industry is about 300 to 400 million and currently employs about 10,000 people. Australia enjoys high reputation for its advanced application capability in GPS, satellite surveillance, Earth observation, and research. Different states have unique advantages and directions in the fields of space exploration. The South Australian government created the Space Industry Centre to financially support space enterprise. Western Australia has major space business, defense, and research ground stations. Australian Capital Territory hosts the NASA Space Communication Centre. The Northern Territory has commercial line and marine communications ground stations. Tasmania has an integrated ocean observation system, sea level calibration buoy. Victoria has the Bureau of Meteorology satellite Earth station. New South Wales is the host of satellite communications operators and service providers such as Optus, NBN, Telstra, etc.
Now, let's turn to the part of profitability of space industry. According to some research, the Australian space sector economy is worth 3.94 billion Australian dollars in the 2015 to 2016 financial year, with around 88% contributed by the private sector. Most of this activity came from satellite TV, broadband, and communications services. The size of Australia's nascent space industry will triple to 10 to 12 billion Australian dollars by the year of 2030. The increase of the space industry will provide an additional 10,000 to 20,000 high-level jobs across Australia, which will create a sustainable and important capability for the nation. The space industry has proven to be a reliable growth industry. Additionally, space-enabled services have promoted productivity across other sectors of the economy. In the coming decades, space will be a defining domain of human enterprise.
Currently, Australia has no related companies developing space commercial projects. The space economy has arrived. I think we can start to act. You will be the leader of Australian space business. Well, according to a report named Global Opportunity Analysis and Industry Forecast 2017 to 2025, which was released by United Market Research Corporation, it showed that Type C and Type M are the most valuable. The Type C asteroids contain a lot of water and metals, which market segment accounted for 2/5 of the market share in 2017 and will continue to maintain its market dominance until 2025. The Type M segment will grow as fast as 29.5% during the forecast period because M-type asteroids contain highly valuable resources such as platinum, gold, silver, and others. Another valuable investment program should be the space tourism. Well, I list normally 4 flight routes with different prices. In 2008, the first space travel company was born Virgin Galactic. In 2019, Virgin Galactic and Capital Philosophy merged and went public. A recent investor report of this company showed it will face about $600 billion in business travel opportunities. Virgin Galactic plans to send the first group of passengers to space tourism this year. The flight fare is about $250,000. Currently, about 600 people have booked the space tourist seats. Actually, there are any other investment programs we can consider, such as space agriculture, space industry, space migration, but I think these two are the most impressive.
Space mining have 4 major risks. Anchoring is the first one. Asteroids have a wide range of sizes, with diameters as small as less than 1 meter and large as hundreds of kilometers. For small-sized asteroids, some companies have proposed a method of capturing the asteroids, which is to weapon them directly with spacecraft and transport them back to Earth. For larger asteroids, the spacecraft need to be attached into service to perform the subsequent operations such as dropping the original equipment. Considering the microgravity environment in space, there must be something like an anchor to fix the spacecraft. In the regular drilling process, water is essential. Water acts as a lubricant between the drill bit and the hole wall to facilitate the extraction of the drill bit. After reaching the target depth, water can be flushed out the crushed stone broken by the drill bit to prevent the drill bit from being blocked by those crushed stone. At the same time, it absorbs the razor dust, avoids exposing operator to harsh working environments. In space, due to the ultra-low temperature and pressure, this important function cannot be achieved with water, which may cause the drill bit to overheat and damage or melt the sample obtained, or the drill bit cannot be removed after drilling is complete. In addition, if the surface of the asteroid is unstable, the drill bit may be offset or even directly bent. Under the vacuum conditions, outgassing is commonly used polymeric materials, can lead to a series of side effects on material properties, such as material instability and structural distortion. The intensity of ultraviolet rays in space is extremely high, which is highly damaging to the material surface and the electronic components of the spacecraft, also to the mining equipment.
A major issue concerning the space industry is space junk. In 2019, there were over 2,000 live satellites orbiting Earth, but over 3,000 more that are not in use. Additionally, there are lots of smaller objects, some so small that they cannot be detected by telescopes on Earth, that pose a great risk to satellites and other space objects. Even a tiny piece of space junk can damage a satellite or spaceship if they collide. Collisions can cause more debris to break off, compounding the problem. Currently, there is no international treaty to prevent companies from producing more space junk, and the problem is likely to get worse quickly. Australia needs to be a leader in the industry by cooperating with other nations to create a treaty limiting the growth of space junk and develop technology to clean up what is already there. Currently, the European Space Agency and a private Russian startup are working on prototypes to clean up space. However, both of these projects are many years off and are not guaranteed to work. The entire space industry could be put at risk if space junk is not cleaned up effectively, so Australia should invest in our own program to clean up our orbit. Another key issue is taxation. Space mining projects can be immensely profitable, and these profits should be taxed fairly. However, if Australia charges private companies too much tax, they may move to other nations that do not charge taxes. We need to work towards a global solution to tax avoidance in space while the industry is still emerging. We also need to make sure that Australia is an attractive place for space companies to do business by encouraging startups and investing in the industry.